The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 5th day of April, 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zool. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. If you're watching online, share the link. If you're on Facebook, start that watch party. If you're on Twitter, retweet it. If you're watching on Channel 82 or listening on the Full 100 radio station, call someone up. Let them know we're on. Just get the conversation out there to your network, and don't forget to like and engage with us. Another good one today as Romeo Ruddock from the Bermuda College stops by. Interesting conversation about the external programs. The Daily Play is a Who Said It, so Carla is guessing a famous quote. Should be a great start to the month of April. Notice we didn't do a show on April 1st, so there are no April Fool's jokes. It's just this fool and Carla. All right? You're satisfied. You're satisfied. That's it, Carla. How was your holiday weekend? Did you make anything? Well, I'm gonna say you didn't make anything, but did you?
Yes.
You did.
My daughter and I, we cooked. Well, I didn't make a kite, if that's what you were asking. No, but my daughter and I, we cooked a great meal between us, and we had great family time. My nephew came over, and his birthday is today, so we did like pre-birthday. It was really nice, very relaxing, laughing, talking, bonding. It's a good day.
Lovely.
Easter was a good day.
Lovely to hear. We have a lot to get through, folks. We're going to obviously discuss the unfortunate, tragic circumstances regarding COVID. I'm going to touch on the hiring of Bermuda's first Black Bermudian CEO as at the Bermuda Tourism Authority. And we did a little trivia this weekend, and I'll just tell you who the winner was. It was Elizabeth. How do you pronounce Elizabeth's last name?
Vayaro.
She was the winner. And we're going to tell you about the trivia, how you can become a winner as well. But we had some trivia this weekend. But yeah, so I had a staycation. And I did have fish cake and hot cross buns. And let me just say, I'm married to a non-Bermudian. And, she does everything she can to, make sure the Bermudian is a satisfied person. And the fish cakes just keep getting better and better, honestly. She's done a job. No, the hot cross buns, they came from Whole Foods. What are the red things? Cranberries, I think.
There are cranberries in them.
Yeah, I think. They weren't just raisins. So it's not the Bermudian version, but it done all right. But we had our fish cakes and hot cross buns yesterday because obviously we had a staycation, and Florida's an interesting place. It's this big popular guitar hotel. Everyone that was coming to South Florida, it's finally opened, I think, right before COVID. So we went by there, went to the casino. Do you know how to gamble?
No,
Okay.
I win like $1, $2, and then I'm done.
Well, I learned from my wife. Like when we first started going out, I learned from her, and roulette was the game that I would play. Anyway, so we went down to pretty much $10 and then went right. This is how I gamble. And folks, listen to me carefully, because there's lessons in this. It's fun. It's not about leaving with winnings. For me, it's all about fun. I get down to that $10. If I get zero, I go home. That's it. However, I have a tendency to go down and then come back up. And once I break even again, I'm out. And that's what happened.
That's my strategy too.
That's it. Like I'm
$5 for me.
I took 120 and got back up, got like to 140, and went back down to like about 110. And I was just like, okay, that's it. It's been good. It's been nice. But they only had the video version of the roulette, so didn't quite work out like how I thought it would. But that was my weekend in a nutshell. We obviously didn't go to the beach because it was, well, thankfully it was too cool to go to the beach, and so pretty much just slept it. Now, you know, I'm not a beach person, but someone thought it was going to be sunny beach weather, Miami weather, and we weren't down in South Beach where all the spring breakers, the troublemakers are, and bringing all that COVID stuff. But we were more on Collins Ave, North Miami. So pretty cool, pretty cool. But that was my
50
staycation.
naked seniors.
What's that? You
50
said
naked seniors on the beach.
no. They're more north, Carla. They're more north. You, what a troublemaker. But look, we have to touch on some serious stuff now. Obviously, the Premier David Burt discussed COVID deaths yesterday, and very unfortunate. And Carla, I know this is something that you've spoken about, really, like, you know, just wondering why people just don't do what's necessary. When you see that being written by the Premier, what's the first thing goes through your mind?
What, when I see what written by the Premier? Just
2 deaths.
For me, it was coming. That's what went through my mind. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. I'm not paranoid about COVID. Like, I operate here in the UK as per normal. I put on a mask if I have to. I don't have one on all the time, but I'm respectful of everyone, whether they believe in it or not. And that's what's not sitting well with me as I watch Bermuda from the outside looking in. People are saying, you know, they don't care. It's not a pandemic and this and that. But then people's families are being affected. 18 people were in the hospital, 4 of which were in ICU. Now, I would assume, and I could be incorrect, that of those 4 in ICU, 2 were the deaths. But if they weren't, that means there are 4 people in ICU and 16 in hospital. Either way, you know, it's like, when do we sit up and say, this is real? Even if I don't believe in it wholly, let me at least operate in the space that I do, so that I don't inadvertently spread it or become contracted by it or contracted.
Stick with us. We'll be touching on Charles Jeffers being appointed the first Black Bermudian CEO for the Bermuda Tourism Authority. And we'll also touch on the trivia from this weekend, where Elizabeth Varel was the, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You know how I am.
You're not.
I'm just going to say Liz. Look, that's the easiest way for me. But I just want to say sincere condolences to the family and friends of those we've lost to this very real COVID disease. This pandemic has been brutal. People have lost jobs, friendships, as Carlos mentioned, and lives. But here's the thing. One of those you can't get back. While I'm a firm believer in taking responsibility for our own health and actions, what I simply can't do is dismiss the seriousness of this very real issue. I'm puzzled as to how people have complained about there being only 12 deaths. I'm bothered by people saying there's been very limited hospitalizations. Have we become that cold of a society where 1 death isn't enough? I don't have the answers, and I'll continue to ask questions. I understand how hard this pandemic has been, not being able to go about life, see friends, family. We get it. But I also understand that if we do what needs to be done to keep one another safe, that we should see less sickness and less death. All I'm asking of everyone is to be considerate. The health and safety of your loved ones depends on it. It's that simple. It's really that simple.
Part of the myth is that I think people think that it's only an old person's, like only old people are going to die from it. And like I've heard some stories from very reliable sources, like the contract tracers, some of them are having a very difficult time because people are not being cooperative, or people are going in the presence of people who they know are positive. It's like it's no big deal. It's just like the flu. And I'm just like, I don't know. For me, I value life. And so I'm just like, okay, one day we all have to die, but why would you want that to come faster by putting yourself at risk? Why not just be cautious and responsible?
Well, and that leads to this question, because it's crazy to me how people can say, "Oh, it's not real. It's this, is that," and when we like, it's almost like you're saying to the elderly population or the vulnerable population, your life is not worthy. So if you catch it, then so be it. That's what it's coming to right now, right? And it begs the question, because Rick Olson says, I hate to say it, but I think we should go on lockdown. And here's the challenge. I've seen so many of the same people, who were saying not to go on lockdown, anti-lockdown, saying, I think it's time we go on lockdown. Well, I'm sorry to say, I just don't think the premier agrees with you. What I think the premier would love for everyone to do is what I just asked everyone to do. Take responsibility for our own actions and think about your loved ones. I'm not quite sure how hard that is. I look, when it comes to standing up for things, I get it. And there aren't too many people who watch this show or listen to us that can go toe to toe with me when it comes to standing up for what you believe in. So let's not go there. But it's kind of sickening to me that we can be so dismissive of the elderly and the sick. Some not sick by something they've done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to do better, because the real sickness that's coming out to me is the sickness within our society, which is a selfishness. Yeah, we've got to do better. We can be I agree that we can be healthier. We can do better individually, but that still doesn't mean we should go about our lives like forget them. Nah, that's not how this should be. Camille Burgess, Carl.
Because we have many who are selfish and don't care about themselves, let alone others, you and me.
Robert Durham says, a police officer said to me, quote, it's only like the flu, and this was on Friday, end quote. Tyra Simmons says, no matter where one stands, people need to stop being selfish. Kathy Bromby says, if people are sick, they should stay home. Dr. Siemens says, we are the same about deaths on the road. Very true, Dr. Seaman. Rosalind Famous, and in Bermuda, we are all connected. So if the effect of a loss is exponential, and then Leslie White, Carla.
All of this, I keep saying nobody is going to die from not partying, but partying could definitely result in death. And a few people I've notable as such, or popular people have passed away, seniors. And I did a post on my WhatsApp. I was really bothered on Saturday. I was having a moment. I want to be home, and I haven't been home in 2 years. But I was like, people are dying and they can only have 10 people at their funeral. That really bothered me. It's like people deserve to be honored and celebrated. And most people have 10 people in their immediate family. So these people don't deserve to have to be interred under these circumstances, or graveyard only because they can't go in a church. Like, the impact is so far reaching. And I just think people have become so insulated in how they're thinking that they just don't think about others. And it really bothered me on Saturday. Like, I was in a really bad mood because of it.
Yeah. Island Teacher says, why did we become so selfish? If I had the answer to that, I would definitely share. Tyra Simmons says, some don't know they're positive and still go. And this right here, she says, some don't know they're positive and still go around others. Well, look, folks, I know people used to say, I'm not letting my cousin or my sister or anyone in my house. If they come by, they'll stand outside. Look, at the end of the day, there are too many of us. Yeah, see what I did there? Us. That know our friends and family are being irresponsible. Let's hold them responsible. Like, come on, call them out on this. Call them out on, like, seriously, people, listen. This is no judgment what I'm about to say. But if you really need to be around somebody to have a drink with them, you have a problem. You have a problem. Now, people may say, oh, well, no, drinking alone is the problem. No, if you really need to be around somebody during this time, you have a problem. And that's something deeper that you need to deal with. Seriously. We have to move on. But I want to ask a question. Just say yes or no in the comments. Do you believe that Bermuda should have a lockdown? Do you think that the premier should consider locking Bermuda down? Let us know in the comments. Carla, what do you think?
No, because it's local transmission that's all over the place right now. It's not people coming into the island, it's the people on the island.
I'll say this much. I don't think that there should be a lockdown. And here's why. If people did what they're supposed to do, what's necessary, and what we should be doing, then there would be no need for a lockdown. This is on us. This is on us. Let's move on to Charles H. Jeffers II. I mean, I was smiling like a kid in a candy store. Why, though? Why? Well, I'll tell you afterwards. What are your thoughts on Charles, Carla?
Oh, I'm happy. I'm excited. I think he's deserving. Congrats. I said, is there installation ceremony that we can cover live? I'm happy. I think that he has a great mix of professionalism and being a Bermudian and being a Black Bermudian, and hopefully he can change the tone and invest more in our Bermudian culture as such. So I'm excited. Congratulations again, Charles.
All right. What are your thoughts on the appointment of Charles Jeffers II to the CEO position of the Bermuda Tourism Authority? I'll say this much. Since the inception of the Bermuda Tourism Authority, many, mainly Black Bermudians, have been screaming for leadership that reflects them. You know, representation matters. For too long, Black Bermudians have been told that they don't have the experience or that they simply aren't good enough, while less qualified non-Bermudians and white Bermudians have been given opportunities. Well, today, I, like many, would like to congratulate Charles H. Jeffers II on his appointment as CEO for the Bermuda Tourism Authority. In sports, many often claim that Black coaches don't really get opportunities. And when they do, they get the rebuild jobs. Well, that's no different here. Bermuda tourism was already struggling, regardless of what they tell you. Throw in a pandemic, and the job becomes that much harder. Mr. Jeffers has a task on his hands, and the challenge is to Black Bermudians. We have an extremely qualified gentleman in Mr. Jeffers who has the job. Now, we must do our part to ensure he succeeds the same way other Bermudians made sure his predecessors were made to believe that they did well. There's work to be done, lots of it. And I think I speak for many when I say, let's go. It's time to show the world why Bermuda is tourism. Congratulations again to our friend, Charles H. Jeffers II. And I must say this, someone asked me, hey, you think Charles is still going to comment during the show? I said, you know what? I really do hope so. But I want to go to Kathy Rogers' comment regarding Charles. She said, long overdue. Oh, this is long overdue. And I make no apologies to any non-Bermudian or white Bermudian when I say what I said. We do not get opportunities. And so we need to get behind Charles H. Jeffers II. Not ask him for favors now. Let's not go to his door and say, hey, I think I can help. I can do this. I can do none of that stuff. None of that stuff. And yes, I didn't mix words. Leslie White is saying made to believe. Yeah, they were made to believe they were successful. But I'll tell you what success looks like. Success is not about, it's not political. It's not about telling people that you're doing well. It's people telling you they're doing well because of the work you're doing. That's success. That's success. A lot of congratulations. James Burt says, congratulations, Mr. Cheffers. Shay Renee Jamel, the speechwriter. You're Wanda Armstrong. Congratulations, Charles H. Jeffers. Face the Rose of Guilts. Wish him well. Sorry that Glenn is leaving. I'm not sorry that Glenn is leaving. Not good written. Sorry, that's not nice. All the best, Glenn Jones. All the best. But Glenn was not the person for the job. And I'll leave it at that, because we have news break to get to. And then we have Romeo Ruddock. We're going to have a very good conversation. I don't know why Carla's laughing. I was very, very.
I want to write a speech. I have a speech. Let me know when I can do a speech.
Oh, yes, please do.
He never tells you when he's doing these speeches.
I don't know what speeches you all are talking about, but let's get to the news break. And Romeo Ruddock coming up. This is a good conversation because we're I'm a big fan of Bermuda College, and I think right now anyone who is attending an overseas school should be really looking at, if we can't travel and be at that school, I see no point in paying hundreds of thousands of dollars overseas institutions while being in Bermuda doing it. So I'm a fan of Bermuda College from that standpoint. Looking forward to discussing the external programs at Bermuda College that I think they have relationships with both Carla's former university and mine. So stick with us. Carla is coming up with the news break after that. And don't forget, Elizabeth, how you pronounce her last name?
Veyaro.
Make sure you're listening. We had a Bermuda trivia question this weekend. The question was, which of the following has not been a guest on the show? The multiple choice was Dexter Smith, Premier David Burt, Gary Miranda, and who was the other person?
Charles Jeffers.
Charles H. Jeffers. One of those has never been on the show, and I was shocked that people did not get this right. We're a bit behind, but let's go to the news break. Here we go.
In international news, Coca-Cola should be boycotted until the Atlanta-based company publicly opposes the Georgia's newly passed voting law, a group of prominent local Black clergymen has said. The group urged a similar boycott against large companies with Peach State headquarters and major regional operations, including Aflac, Delta Airlines, Home Depot, and UPS. Georgia's controversial overhaul of state elections passed in mid-March places restrictions on voting by mail and gives the legislator more control over how elections are run. The new law requires a photo ID when mailing in an absentee ballot, as well as when requesting a ballot. It also cuts the time people have to request an absentee ballot. Democrats and voting rights groups said the law will disproportionately affect voters of color. Stress Awareness Month increases public awareness about the cause of stress and how to help combat stress in this modern day life. This month has been observed every year since 1992. There are plenty of resources and helpful organizations available to help with your struggles regarding stress. One way of doing something for Stress Awareness Month is the 30-day challenge. It encourages you to do one action for your physical, mental, and emotional being every day. This can be really helpful in changing your mindset and outlook on stress, as well as finding ways to help cope with your own stress. You may learn a lot about yourself and the triggers that come with stress too. Turning to weather, the temperature in Bermuda is expected to reach a high today of 66. New York City will see a high of 65, and Birmingham, UK, a high of 40 degrees. Don't forget, the Daily Hour's island boy who doesn't like water is being held hostage, but only until April 10th. Shall we save Jamal or shall we sink him? You decide, but either way, let's contribute to a good cause and participate in the annual Bermuda Sloop Foundation's fundraising event, Pirates of Bermuda. Visit www.bermudasloop.org for further details. That's your Daily Hour news break.
Yes, and for those who've been asking, some of my closest family and friends, no, I will not be in Bermuda, unfortunately, to be thrown into Hamilton Harbor, but there are pools over here in South Florida. So, but I know you love me too much to make me get wet. So make sure you save me. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Just in time for spring cleaning comes a fragrant, naturally effective solution. Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day Household Cleaners. Formulated not with the usual harsh chemicals like chlorine, ammonia, and petroleum derivatives, but powerful natural essences with garden-inspired scents. Safer for your children and pets, and aromatherapeutic too. This month we're featuring Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day Laundry Detergent with geranium and lavender, multi-surface cleaners powered by the invigorating aromas of lavender, bluebell, and honeysuckle, and more. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Welcome back to the big show. She's Carla Zul. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and our friends over at Channel 82, where you can also watch this and many other locally produced shows if you have One Communications cable. Look, we covered a lot this morning, and we still have a way to go. Let's welcome to the show Mr. Romeo Ruddock from Bermuda College. We're going to be talking about the external programs. And this is, folks, when I say share, like, retweet, start a watch party, these conversations are reason why. Let's bring in Mr. Ruddock. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No
it's great
problem.
to be here.
It's early, so like always, we appreciate you for being here. But let's get right to it. For those who don't know, what is the external program and how does it differ from other programs that the Bermuda College offers?
The external programs that we have, or partnerships that we have with institutions in Canada, in the US, and in the UK. And particularly, I would like to talk about a couple of them. The first one I'd like to talk about would be Mount St. Vincent University, which we've had a relationship with for many, many years. And that allows you to basically come to Bermuda College, get your associate's degree, and then transfer those credits into a bachelor's degree program without having to leave the island. So say, for example, you can't afford to go away to college, you can't afford to pay for the housing or whatever, you can still attend Bermuda College and still get your bachelor's degree. So with that program, it's a Bachelor's of Business Administration degree, and you can major in accounting, management, marketing, strategic human resource management. And also, you could also concentrate in tourism and hospitality management, economics, accounting, marketing, and also, again, strategic human resource management. Now, with this course, with this program, it's 40 courses that you're taking to graduate. That's how many courses you'll have to take to graduate. You can transfer in from Bermuda College 25 of those courses. So you're taking basically 25 courses here at Bermuda College to save some money, and then transfer those courses over, and you'll have 15 courses left to be able to graduate with your bachelor's degree. Also with that, at some point, say for example, I'm in my last semester and I want to have that college experience, and I have the money now to be able to go to Canada, to Halifax, and finish up. I can leave Bermuda and go to Halifax and finish my last semester to have that college experience anyway, and graduate with the same degree without losing anything. So you do the majority of the degree program here, and then you transfer out there for the last semester. At any point during the program, you can do that. So the whole deal is to come register at Bermuda College for the associate's degree in business administration, take those classes, and then get your associate's degree. And then we start looking at registering you and signing you up for the bachelor's degree program here from Bermuda. So if you want to work from home and say, okay, I'm working, a majority of the courses are in the evening time, which makes it more manageable for you. So they start at 6 o'clock and go all the way till 10 p.m.
So, quick
It's
question: how
yeah.
long has the external program existed?
This has been around. I've been at Bermuda College since 2015, and it's been around way before then, 2004, between 2002, 2004. That's how long this program has been around. It's
Okay.
been a long time. A lot of people don't take advantage of this program because for some reason, a lot of people don't know about this program. We're always saying to ourselves, why don't you know? But a lot of times, you want to say, okay, well, I leave high school, I want to go away. And before in the past, I used to work at Barclay, and I remember, parents pretty much mortgaging their houses to say, hey, I'm going to let my child go away. You don't have to do that anymore. And even in this environment where we're concerned about COVID and other issues, you can stay here, get a job in Bermuda, work during the daytime, and still go to school in the evening and afternoon time. So it's really affordable. One course at Bermuda College is $465 versus a couple $1,000 elsewhere. So it's very, very affordable for you. And within those 40 courses, something else I want to explain, when I say you can major in accounting and say minor in finance, you don't have to take any additional courses. It still fits in the 40 courses that you take. We make sure that your worksheet, the plan that you're on, we fit those finance courses in those elective areas so you don't have to take any extra courses. It still stays within those 40 courses.
You mentioned cost and you mentioned some of the benefits already, but what are some of the other benefits of the external programs that people may not think of? Like I mentioned before you came on about, during the pandemic, there are so many Bermudians enrolled in overseas institutions, pretty much doing school from Bermuda, and they're still paying those, gigantic tuition and fee rates. But I think, in hindsight, everything looks so much easier, right? You're thinking, man, maybe I should have spent it. But a lot of young people are so eager to get away from Bermuda, to experience a real college life and so on. But what is go in more detail if you can about the benefits of taking advantage of these external programs. Like some people think, well, if I don't do well, I will never get to that point, so I need to go now.
So we not only do we have these external programs, but we have pathway partnerships with a number of colleges and universities internationally. So what that allows you to do is to, again, enroll at Bermuda College and then transfer to those institutions. What we have are those 2+2 programs, 2 years at Bermuda College and 2 years at those. And so one in particular is Georgia State. We have the risk management insurance program that we have with them. And a majority of our students, what they do is they come here, they do their 2 years, and they go to Georgia State and they finish up with a degree in risk management and insurance. We have a number of students, and you can look this up on LinkedIn and whatever, but a number of our Bermuda College students are on president's lists once they leave Bermuda and go to Georgia State, a number of them. And at some point, I would love for you to have some of those students on your shows to talk about their experiences, because you do get a great education here. We have excellent faculty. We have excellent instructors at Bermuda College. You're not getting any less by skipping Bermuda College and going directly to wherever you want to go. You can still stay here and get quality education right here at Bermuda College and save yourself a lot of money.
Indeed.
Now, talking about money, you've explained why some students do choose to remain in Bermuda and do, for example, the Mount St. Vincent program. What if a student wants to take that path, but although they're working, cannot afford to attend Mount St. Vincent's, for example? Does the college in any way help them to apply for financial aid or any type of funding that would allow them to do that overseas schooling?
Okay, so what we have is BermudaScholarships.com. And a lot of students would apply in BermudaScholarships.com for scholarships. That's always available. There are a number of scholarships on there. And we've been fortunate over the past, I say 3-4 years, where government has actually set aside about $300,000 to be able to assist students with financial aid by them coming to Bermuda College and then transferring to those institutions. So there's money available. It's just a matter of those students actually putting in the work, earning that 3.0 or better GPA, and also applying for the scholarships that are available.
Now, I was on the college website and I noticed that Bermuda College partners with over 30 organizations, institutions from UK, US, and Canada. What makes a Bermuda College an attractive partner for these higher education, institutes of higher education?
I think for simple as this, a lot of schools want to have, a lot of institutions wants to have international relationships with other colleges and institution, and part of it is just us being Bermuda and saying, hey, you know what, we have a relationship with Bermuda. And for our partners, they like to come here. They like the fact that, that we have quality students here, international businesses here, and some of them actually have relationships where they have their alumni working in these international businesses, and they support their institutions. So being in partnership with Bermuda College is a win-win for both Bermuda and for those institutions.
Now, what about the young person who, I was one of those, went to the college, didn't know what I wanted to do, kind of. How does the Bermuda College offer support to help young people pick the right external program for them?
And we do that through our advisement program. And so what happened is a student can come here and say, okay, you know what? I'm just told I have to go to the next level, so I'm going to school. While you're here, we want you to be able to figure out and try to, get as much information as possible to determine, okay, do I want to go into medicine? And do I want to, go into business? Do I want to go into accounting? So we have the courses, we have the instructors, we have the advisors that will sit down with you and have those conversations and talk to you about, what is it that you'd like to do? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? So we do ask those questions. We do have those interaction. And one of the great things is when I was in college, I was a number. I remember being in my biology class, and I could walk in biology in the lecture on Monday night and put my recorder down and walk away, and my instructor would never know that I was in class, if I was in class or not. We have small classes. The instructor does know your name. There's that closeness, that family kind of environment that we offer here at Bermuda College, and we're going to make sure that we do as much as we can to assist you so you're successful. That's what it's all about. It's that wraparound service that we provide here at Bermuda College.
All right. I want to talk about the funding availability. I know in the US it's called financial aid, right? How does the funding work for people? Let's say, they don't qualify for a government scholarship, because what does it have to be, 3.0 if I'm not mistaken? And people like myself just did not meet that criteria at one point in my life. So how can people who are unable to afford it, what type of funding is available?
So from that standpoint, we do have, like I said before, we have the government grant that was given to the college over the past few years, and that's based on financial need. And we look at that from that sense. So Nikita Scott in her department is responsible for that. So it's based on needs, not necessarily academic. Yes, you do have to be in a position where you're passing your courses, but you may not have a 3.0, you may have a 2.5 or a 2.0. As long as there's a financial need there and we can tell that you're working hard and you're putting forth that effort, then we want you to apply for that financial aid that's available. So it's based off need, not just academics.
Indeed, indeed. Speak to us about the timelines for each program partnership. Obviously, some schools, I know that you had one of my former schools, New England Institute of Technology, and New England Institute of Technology actually does quarters. And then you have some schools who do trimesters, some schools do semesters. How does that work? And what are some of the deadlines for applications for fall 2021 and spring 2022?
Okay, so as far as the deadlines are concerned, each individual institution have their own deadline. And so what we do is we try to work with each student. If you want to attend, say, New England Institute of Technology, then we look at putting you in a position where we make sure that you're ready to apply and meet that deadline so that you can enroll during the time that it is. A lot of our schools, some of them have rolling admissions where, for example, there's 4 different semesters. Mount St. Vincent's have 4 different semesters. They have a fall, a winter, a summer one, and a summer 2. At any time during that period, if you decide that you want to join, you can go ahead and enroll at that particular time. We also have master's degree programs that we have with other institutions. One of them that we have going on currently is the Framingham State, which is in Massachusetts. We have a graduate certificate / master's degree in educational leadership. And currently we have 13 aspiring principals, deputy principals in that program for the certificate in educational leadership, and they'll finish that program at the end of June this year, and we'll start again in September. So we have that. We also have coming online from Framingham online MBA with a concentration in management, and that program is totally online, and we're looking to start that one in spring 2022. As well. We've had a relationship also with Miami University, Miami of Ohio, a master's in special education. For those teachers that already have their master's degree but want to work in learning support and don't have that training, we have intervention specialist licensure where they can come in and take 8 courses and do a field experience and then get certified to become a learning support teachers. For those that don't have their teaching certification and would like their master's degree in special education, the program is also there with the master's degree as well as the initial licensure as well. So we have a great relationship that we have with Miami University. This particular program is in partnership with Bermuda College, the Ministry of Education, and Miami as well.
Okay. If you have any questions for Mr. Romeo, please feel free to ask, but this question is coming from everywhere, so I'm just going to put it up each time it's asked. Shanta Gooden, as well as Teresa Stewart, have asked, does Bermuda College have any partnerships with HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities?
The best person to reach out to is Dr. Constance Smith. She is responsible for all those pathway programs, and I'm sure she'll be able to point you in the right direction if you reach out to her. So she's there. We have a number of partnerships and relationships. So I'm definitely sure that Dr. Constance Smith will be able to help you with that.
So as a social butterfly, I have a question, because when some people, when you grow up, you want to go to that overseas university life. How do you negate that? Because I mean, as a parent, it makes perfect sense. It's cost effective. So how does it, one who wants to have that uni life, what's the argument, so to speak, to show
Basically, what
them?
Carla's saying is, I wanted to party. I didn't. I went to Bermuda College, but I fought my mom because I went to party, but I still went to Bermuda College.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the college life, because it is a difference, you know, to get to have that undergraduate degree, but there's things in university, you know, especially in undergrad, that so what's the argument for that?
I agree with you. Dorm life, it's yeah.
And to me, and that's why I was saying before, and this is probably the only institution that we do have this relationship with, but the Mount St. Vincent program allows you to have that college experience as well as doing that distance learning from Bermuda. So you get a mixture of both. Like I said before, if you can't afford to go there for the 2 additional years, but you can go there for the last semester or the last year, then you can say, hey, Mr. Ruddock, I want to transfer. It's a very simple process. It's seamless. You can go out, hang out in Halifax, and experience that college life as well. That is something that I would encourage any student in any of these programs to try and do, is to have that experience. But it is difficult if you can't afford it financially.
Just before you go, Mr. Ruddock, let people know how they can learn more information. Who can they contact?
Okay, so they can contact myself, R. Ruddock, at college.bm. They can also contact Mr. Teo Dill. You can call us on 236-9000 and ask for Mr. Dill or myself, and you'll be transferred to both of us. And we can give you as much details as possible. You can also reach out to Dr. Constance Smith, who's very knowledgeable as well about the pathway programs that we have and the relationships, and she'll be able to answer a lot of your questions as well. And before I go, I just want to send a shout out to my staff before I get in trouble, from the PACE department. That's Teresa Miller, Karen Smith, and then Tawana Flood.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, yes, I did the
Not
other
with the
day.
ladies.
Trust me, I'm the only male in this department, and they let me have it. How come you didn't mention us?
I trust me. Being the in many spaces. Thank you so much for this valuable information. As always, everyone on this show knows I'm a big fan of what the Bermuda College continues to do. And you all are always welcomed in this space to continue pushing and promoting the messages, because they are helpful messages for the community and the country overall. So thank you, Romeo Ruddock, for coming on the show today for this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
Awesome conversation. I really appreciate it. All he had to say, Carla. I honestly believe in hindsight. I would give, I didn't take advantage of going to Bermuda College the first time around. But if I could give back my first 2 years in school away from Bermuda and go to Bermuda College, I would. I really, really would.
And ironically, I never wanted to go away to university. So I did 2.5 years at Bermuda College. And I think every student should do it for different reasons, because I went to work academy, which was very rigid. So it gives you the ability to learn how to self-manage as well. And it's cheaper. When I was a teacher, I always encouraged my students, go Bermuda College. But he's right. A lot of students are told, it means something when you go straight away to school. I'm not a proponent of that.
Indeed. I didn't get to all the questions. Always apologetic for that. Sean Smith did ask a question. Do you have to be in Bermuda to take advantage of your online course? This is a good question. Hopefully we can get that answered for you, Sean. Good question there. Sherry Nay said, I went to historically Black college university and it's non-negotiable for my children. Carla, did I tell you one of my former colleagues said, oh, I'm glad you didn't go to HBCU because you would have been too radical. You're bad enough. That's what people think. Carla.
I didn't go to one either. I do kind of regret it, but I agree with them 100%. Can you imagine people if he did go to one? Whew.
Wow. Sorry. Wow, I didn't know you thought of me like that. Really, Virgil, what excellent opportunities exist. PACE provides us with continuous learning. Kathy Rogers says, thanks for information. I highly recommend Bermuda College. I was actually going to mention her daughter, Star Rogers, because when Mr. Ruddock mentioned that students that have gone to Georgia State and they end up on the dean's list, I know Star came to mind because I saw a post of hers from LinkedIn one day. Look, just want to, before we go to break, stick with us because we have a couple of things coming up. We're going to speak to you about trivia, how you can win something every week on this show. And then we have the daily play, daily inspiration as well. But make sure, I'm just going to share in the chat, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. It's in the comments. Make sure you go click that link and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please do that right now. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. No, my screen didn't get stuck. I know you thought so. I was just in shock that Carla.
I thought it was frozen too.
No, I was shocked that she thought that of me, folks. I can do it again. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Find out how you can win some stuff with us. And yeah, if I like you, that is, if you don't take call aside. We'll be right back.
Don't let being a woman limit you. I was raised by a man that said you could, look, we fixed our own bikes, I could tile. And my dad said this, my dad did not even finish high school. But he also said this, if you can read and follow instructions, you can do anything.
All right. Thanks again to Romeo Ruddock from Bermuda College. Really, really love the people that continue to come on Dr. Phyllis Curtis tweet. Everyone, Craig Simmons, Romeo Ruddock. Thank you all for continuing to trust this platform. Thanks again to our partners, Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. I like that commercial just now. One Communications, Lindo's, Medical House, Peoples, everybody. Thank you for your support, as well as the audience continuing with the questions and the comments as well. We appreciate you. Keep it going. Keep it going. So we had a trivia question this weekend, right, Carla? Let me find it because I need to remember what the question was because Carla's need help. Her memory
has not been a guest on the Daily Hour, and there were 4 options.
Oh.
Charles Jeffers was A.
B was Dexter Smith.
Right. And then C was Gary Moreno and D was Charles Jeffers. I was trying to remember in the proper order.
All right. So, folks, which of the following have never appeared on the Daily Hour? A, Charles H. Jeffers II, B, Dexter Smith, C, Gary Moreno, or D, Premier David Burt? That was the question. And I was actually pretty shocked that many people went with D, Premier David Burt.
I found that weird.
Yeah, because I mean, you all don't remember Carla and David Burt having it out over the cup match thing when he came on?
Passive aggressively?
Like, come on. So David Burt actually came on. You know what? It was July or August. Let me check to be sure. So it was July 16th, 2020. He was the 50th episode. July 16th. David Burt came on the show. And yeah, it was right after cup match was announced that it won't take place.
They probably didn't think that because how you have your little nicknames for, they couldn't think possibly he talk about a guest that's been on the show like this.
Well, I mean, well, hold on.
That's my favorite one.
I have a lot of nicknames for him, but that just tells you that people expect to see more of the Premier David Burt in these spaces. That's what it really tells you, and that his appearance may have been not as memorable. But Dexter Smith was the first person to appear on the show. He appeared on the first episode. Charles H. Jeffers. I was shocked people said Charles Jeffers because we just had a video, and props to Charles H. Jeffers II, because that video was the most viewed video across all platforms the Daily Hour has ever had. So the support for Charles, let's keep it going when he gets in his position. That was the most viewed, but he was on the 30th episode last June. And so the answer would be Gary Moreno. And I'm going to tell you why Gary hasn't come on, because he heard Carla singing on the show one day and it scared him. It scared him. It scared him.
Don't listen to this, man.
No, Gary Moreno is the only one who hasn't been on. We'd love to have our good friend Gary on. What will we talk about? Wow, it's so many ways to go with Gary. He is a nut, but he has not been on. But that said, Teresa Stewart asks, how do we play? This is how it goes. Every Saturday, there will be a trivia question. It will be put on all of our social media platforms that we promote, except Twitch. So it'll be on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And all you have to do is answer that, and then we'll have a draw on our end. And the winner for that draw was Elizabeth. Elizabeth won the first prize. And I get that you're asking, well, what did Elizabeth win? Elizabeth won a mug, Daily Hour mug, and she's going to get a $25 gift voucher to Medical House. So let's give Elizabeth a round of applause.
I don't even have a Daily Hour mug.
Well, the Daily Hour mugs just arrived they didn't arrive. Apparently customs has issues. So they arrived in February and we're just getting them now. So, but we don't complain about people doing a job on this show unless they're sorry. Yes, we do. All right, look. So Elizabeth's our first winner, and we have a daily play. Carla's trying to get away from it. Daily play, very easy, very, very easy. And Carla's been on a roll. That's why I know it's easy. The quote is, help her out, folks. Quote, a man who won't die for something is not fit to live, end quote.
Malcolm X. No.
On April 4th, 1968.
Oh, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
There you go.
Happy birthday, Dr. King. Oh, it's his assassination day today. No, the assassination birthday is in January. Sorry. I've been in the UK too long. They don't talk about this stuff. My bad.
Dr. King was assassinated April 4th, 1968. And that quote was Dr. King. It was, a man who won't die for something is not fit to live. So yes, that was Martin Luther King Jr. Carla, do you have any inspiration for us?
I do. And do you know what today is, Jamal? It's our anniversary. Did you know that?
Do you know what today is? Like, are you singing a song or?
No, 11 months ago today, we did our debut show on the Daily Hour. I just wanted to let you know.
Debut show? No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. 11 months ago. It was May 5th.
11 months. Sorry. Okay. Cool. I did. So you know what you remind me of? One of those girlfriends who celebrates like, oh, it's our anniversary, our 2-week anniversary. Oh, it's our 3-month anniversary. Like, you one of those girlfriends, Carla?
No.
Okay.
Our motivation for today: we generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. Dr. Henry Link.
I love that one. Really love that one. That's a good one. We have a great lineup coming up this week, folks. Always a great lineup, but we have the Minister of Education returning this morning. So get your questions in. I know you love that, those conversations. Then we have Minister Tanae Furbert coming on Wednesday. Then we have the Mayor of St. George's along with Kendi Fogo coming on Thursday. And St. George's, it's got some things going on. Obviously, unfortunate shooting last week. And then one of my favorite topics we're finally getting to discuss with an expert, diversity and inclusion, with Carla John. She's an expert in this on Friday. So this is a hot week on the show. So again, if you haven't already, just I'll post it. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you do that right now. Make sure you subscribe. Carla, just by popular demand, say that quote again. People are asking. Say the quote again.
Sure. We generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. Dr. Henry Link.
All right. And we would love to have the mayor of Devils Hill. I mean, the most entertaining mayor on the face of this earth. We would love him. Mimosas and all. Carla, any final words on today? If you appreciated today's episode with Romeo Ruddock, please give us a like, thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, give us a reaction. Love us. Let us know what you thought of today's episode. Any final words from you, Carla?
Yes. Congratulations, Charles Jeffers, the second. Congratulations. And guys, look for the best educational opportunity for you at the Bermuda College.
All right, there you go. Thanks again to the Bermuda College for continuing to trust this platform to have these important conversations. Again, congratulations to Charles. And folks, if nothing else, take responsibility for your own actions, your health, and think about others. Be considerate. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, and Linda's, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Carla Zul. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a great day. We're out.